morning, it's Monday. Time to start a new week, a new day, a new bunch of objectives to get done. I like Monday. I really do. I've never had a problem with Monday, except I need a lot of coffee on Monday, but I don't have a problem with it. Say, listen, I wanted to go over some business news this morning because it kind of gives us an indication as to where we're going, what the economy is doing, what inflation is doing to many businesses out there. So I think it's good that we go over just a little bit. I want to start off with a company which is called Stitch Fix. Now, a lot of you may know them because you might be buying from them online. And what they are, they're an online styling service. And they started in 2011, so they've been around for a while. But they're making some cuts. They're making a 15% cut, not in their labor workforce, but in their salaried positions. So that means that companies are beginning to look at what is costing me the most. Salaried positions are the most because of all of the perks and all of the benefits and everything else. The lower end are pretty safe for right now because they're the ones that are producing and moving the product and everything else. But the administrative people are the ones that are beginning to get cut. And we see this also in Tesla. We see it in a lot of other companies out there where they are now starting to look at, okay, we are in recessionary times. Inflation has passed. Recession is now here. We can feel it. Businesses know we're in it. The number one line on any income statement, which is the most expensive line ever, are wages, salaries, and wages. So companies are beginning to look at that. So I want you to understand that that is what is happening, what companies are looking at the moment. I know it's not very fun, but it's happening. And it's going to happen more and more. So expect that the employment the employment numbers to change just a little bit because companies are now looking at, okay, we have to cut costs. We have got to survive. And we're going to have to cut some salaried individuals. So that's what Stitch Fix is doing. Now, the other issue, which I'm really, really pissed off about because this involves me. The Internal Revenue Service destroyed 30 million tax documents. These are tax returns. These are paper filers have sent in their tax returns by mail. The IRS is already behind schedule. They haven't processed even from 20 and 21 yet, and they're still going forward. So we have a issue with the IRS where they literally destroyed 30 million tax documents. Why? Not a very good explanation. And why would they do it? Why would they just destroy it? Now, I had heard at one point in time that they were so far behind that all these tax returns were sitting out in trucks and trailers out in the back. And it looks like to me that they probably just, we don't want to deal with it. I don't know if that was their thought process, but why would they destroy 30 million tax documents? That means that a lot of you who filed a paper return, I'm one of them because I filed differently, you're going to have to go to the Internal Revenue Service because a lot of you have not received refunds because of this. I'm one of them. I filed in February. We are now into June. Nothing. I don't even see it in the system being processed. So I have a gut feeling that my tax return is probably one of the 30 million that they decided to destroy. Now, we're going to have to follow up on that today, and I'm going to have to talk with the Internal Revenue Service to see exactly what is the status on certain tax returns out there. You would think that with such a complex system that they would have a complex data retrieval base. In other words, when the tax return comes in, it should be scanned in and taken care of. But they haven't resolve that issue yet. They haven't been able to get the scanners to work properly, it sounds like. The other issue is that the Internal Revenue Service is saying, listen, we had to take so many people off of taxes and put them over onto PPP and into the stimulus. So a lot of these tax returns were just sitting there, not being touched by any IRS agents because of Biden's stimulus program. And the Internal Revenue Service directly says that in their statement. It was because of Biden's stimulus program. So once again, Americans get screwed. One, the PPP program was all screwed up, and there's too much fraud in it as of now. Every week they keep reporting more and more fraud. B of A didn't handle it very well. And the Internal Revenue Service was overloaded. Listen, the Internal Revenue Service was never designed to be a stimulus program check printing company and checking all of the taxpayers at the same time. They were not designed to do that. They are designed to collect money and to audit and to process the tax returns. They were never designed to manage the stimulus programs and the PPP programs and everything else. So that is something that Americans should really question as to what in the world is going on with our government. What is going on with our government? And then we have to ask this. The question is, okay, if they cannot process these tax returns, how safe is our tax data that the IRS has? I think that's another question that we should be asking. Now, the other part of the news, and I'm going to tell you right now, expect your meat products to get more expensive. Smithfield Foods in California, one of the largest processing companies of pork and other types of meats, is being shut down. It's being shut down because it's too costly to do business in California. They just can't do it anymore. And you just can't take a processing plant and just move it someplace, because if you want to open up a new processing plant, you got to go through environmental impact studies. You got to go through all kinds of different things that a state will require of a meat packing plant. Now, this company, Smithfield Foods, is the largest meat packing plant in the United States. That means that the amount of meat out there is going to be less, and the dollar amount that you pay for it is going to go up. Supply and demand. Economic terms, supply and demand. So that means that meat prices will increase as this place shuts down. Now, California created this because they have so many environmentalists over there and so many animal rights groups that have just plagued this plant with so many different problems. And they said, you know what? Doing business in California just isn't applicable to us anymore. It's just not viable. So they shut it down. Which means that expect our meat prices to go up. They always use the word shuttered. Shuttered means shutting down. And sure enough, that's what they're doing. They're shutting down this meat packing process. Now, the other issue, those of you who use fast food, an article came out yesterday that said U.S. food suppliers and chain restaurants warn prices will keep climbing. Why is that? Well, distribution. They can't get products that are fast enough, so the price goes up. The trying to get the products themselves is very difficult. So you have a supply chain issue that's creating the prices to go zooming up. And then a lot of these places have now increased the minimum wage to way over 15, and they're paying $20, $25, $30 for some of these people to work. So now their wages have gone up. This is a big problem. So if you're expecting to think that fast food is the cheapest place to eat anymore, you're going to be wrong, because the prices are going to keep going up. That means inflation is going to continue to go up. It's not going to go down. No one's working on the supply chain. Whatever Biden tells you, it's a bunch of nonsense. Because if you don't have a strong supply chain where truckers are moving product, and by the way, a lot of truckers are going out of business because the diesel fuel prices are so extremely high that they just can't do it anymore. And some small companies that used to haul this stuff around are going to the wayside. It's a sad thing to see. Sometimes you want to ask, are they trying to destroy this economy on purpose? I saw that question so many times on Twitter over the weekend. I must have seen it at least 10 times. People are asking, are they trying to do this on purpose? Are they trying to destroy us? Are they trying to destroy small business? What is in their mind? See, that's a problem when you think of socialism, in which a lot of these Democrats and I also think Republicans think that government is the answer to everything. Government should be supplying your health care. Government should be providing your food. Government should be doing everything for you. The problem is that government screws things up. They are not in the business to run businesses. They don't know how. Most of them are academics. They've never been in a real job out there. They come in, the average salary of a government employee is $75,000 compared to $45,000 of an average American working out there. So the problem is that if we do not get government out of our lives, if we don't calm them down on their spending and everything else, and the control issue, we're going to have very high inflation. In fact, in a private fundraising event, Biden told the people this, is, yep, inflation's going to be around for a while. So we have a president who has no idea what he's doing. And we have people in Congress, in the Senate, who don't care what's going on because all they worry about is getting reelected. So people in the American public, they can suffer as much as they don't care. The politician doesn't care. They don't care if you're suffering. It's about them getting reelected. It's a sad thing to see, I tell you. But that's the news for this Monday. But I just wanted to let you know exactly what's happening out there and what companies are looking at, how they're going to be changing their operations and letting some people go, I'm afraid. Remember, I did the podcast 2 weeks ago about, okay, you're going to have to make some tough decisions as business owners. And one of that is who stays and who goes. Just a fact of life. We're in a recession, and we have to live with it. And all of us are going to have to be more focused on how we spend our money. That's just a fact of life in the recession. We're going to make it through, though. Listen, this is Mike Lodge. If you like my podcast, please go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Michael Lodge. And you can see all my blogs and vlogs and podcasts and everything is there. Help me out. You can donate there. If you want to have more access to me and have a consultation with me, go to www.lodge-co.com. Listen, everybody, have a great Monday. I will talk with you soon. God bless.